All right, let's dive into one of the most pragmatic and, well, let's be honest, one of the coldest laws of power. This is all about a strategy for how you can actually get what you want when you need to ask for help.
Just think about it for a second. When you're in a tough spot, you need a favor, you need an ally, what's your go-to move? What's the first play in your playbook?
You know, most of us, our first instinct is to remind people of how we helped them in the past, or we talk about our friendship, maybe we appeal to their sense of justice or mercy. But in the high-stakes world of power, those appeals, they often just fall on deaf ears. There's a much, much more reliable path.
And here it is, Law 13, straight from Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. The judgment here is crystal clear. If you need help, don't even waste your breath reminding someone of your past good deeds. They'll just find a way to ignore you. Instead, you've got to find something in your request that benefits them. You make that the centerpiece of your pitch, and you'll see how enthusiastically they respond.
You know, nothing illustrates a principle quite like a good story. And for this law, we have two incredibly powerful historical examples. One is a tragic failure, and the other is an absolute masterclass in strategy. So first, let's see what happens when you get this completely wrong.
So our cautionary tale kicks off in 14th century Italy. You've got the powerful Poggio family who actually helped this ruthless soldier, Castruccio Castracani, become the lord of their city. But once he got the power he wanted, he immediately turned on them. Their response was to rebel, and that, right there, was their first big mistake.
The chain of events here is just devastating. The rebellion kicks off. The head of the family, Stefano, he manages to stop the fighting because he genuinely believes he can reason with the prince. So he goes to Castruccio, and his entire plea for mercy is based on his family's past generosity. Castruccio listens, he promises justice, and then he has them all arrested and executed. Appealing to gratitude wasn't just a mistake, it was a fatal one.
In this quote, this tells you everything you need to know about the mindset of a man like Castruccio. When someone called him out for killing an old friend, this was his reply. In his world, gratitude is a burden. By reminding him of what they'd done for him, the Poggios weren't friends anymore. They were a new enemy, presenting him with an obligation. And it was just easier to get rid of the debt by getting rid of the creditors.
Okay, now let's flip the script. We're going to a completely different scenario from ancient Greece that shows this law applied perfectly. Right before the huge Peloponnesian War, the island of Corcyra and the city-state of Corinth were on the verge of war. Both of them desperately needed Athens on their side. The stakes could not have been higher.
The two pitches made to Athens were polar opposites. Corinth made the exact same mistake as the Poggios. They went on and on about past favors and the debt of gratitude Athens supposedly owed them. But Corcyra, wow, they did something brilliant. They completely ignored the past. Their entire argument was focused on one single thing, a mutually profitable future.
This table just breaks down the Athenian decision perfectly. So look at Corinth's approach. Their whole argument was based on gratitude. Their appeal was emotional, it was historical. And the outcome? Rejected. The Athenians just saw it as an annoying obligation. Now look at Corcyra. Their argument was about creating a powerhouse navy for the future. Their appeal was pragmatic and forward-looking. The outcome? Acceptance, of course. Athens chose the alliance that would increase their future power, not the one that was about honoring some old debt.
So, we've seen the history, but how do you actually apply this? How do you find that little lever of self-interest in the people you're dealing with? Well, the key is to stop thinking about your own needs for a minute and start analyzing theirs.
You really have to become a bit of a psychologist. Take a good look at the person you're asking for help. Do they crave admiration? Well, then frame your request as something that's going to make them look amazing. Are they driven by greed? Show them the profit. Do they have rivals? Position your help as a way to weaken their enemies. You have to get inside their head and figure out what truly makes them tick.
And for a masterclass in this, you don't need to look any further than Genghis Khan's invasion of China. He saw this incredibly advanced civilization as, well, nothing more than poor grazing land for his horses. His plan was brutally simple: level the cities, kill everyone, and let the grass grow. An appeal to mercy or culture would have been totally laughable to him.
This is where a brilliant advisor, Yeluchut Sai, steps in. He knew Khan cared about one thing: practical results. So he didn't beg for the lives of the Chinese people. Nope. Instead, he appealed to the one emotion he knew would work: greed. He did the math and explained that taxing the massive population, instead of killing them, would generate enormous wealth for the Mongol Empire. Khan immediately saw the logic, and because of that, millions of lives were saved.
Now, it's really easy to hear all this and think this law is only about making cynical appeals to greed. But there's a really critical nuance here, a reversal that you have to understand to use it effectively.
See, some people are actually put off by obvious appeals to their self-interest, because what they really want is to be seen as charitable and noble. For them, their self-interest is the act of giving. It makes them feel powerful, it makes them feel superior and virtuous. In those cases, you have to give them the opportunity to show off their good heart. You frame your request as a noble cause that they, and only they, can champion.
This quote just sums up the entire law so perfectly. An appeal that's based on mercy or gratitude, it's like a thin, frayed cord. It's going to break under the slightest pressure. But an alliance that's built on mutual self-interest, that's a thick rope, woven from many different fibers. It's strong, it's durable, and it'll serve you for a long, long time.
So, all this leaves us with one final, crucial question. The next time you need to ask for help, are you going to appeal to the best of their nature or to the best of their interests? The path you choose really could make all the difference.